600 million people in more than 180 countries around the world. Gurudev believes that inner peace is the key to peace in the world outside. He seeks to build bridges between beliefs and religions to universalize wisdom and foster greater compassion, love, and mutual understanding for a stress-free and violence-free society. Not a bad mission statement.
Thank you.
So welcome and thank you so much for joining us on World Happiness Day. It's really a great privilege. A personal question. Can you share with us the first time in your life when you developed an insight or maybe even an epiphany on this notion of how to become a happy and fulfilled person?
Well, from my young days, I always dreamt of a society free from violence. Wherever there was conflict, I wanted to jump in and then separate the parties, That has been my tendency. Then this idea, growing up with my teacher who has been with Mahatma Gandhi for 4 decades, and I was always inspired by a non-violent movement in society. So we grew up, though I have never seen Mahatma Gandhi, he had gone long before I was born, but the people who stayed with him, who lived with him, were one of my inspirations. They used to tell me stories about those days with him. And he would, how with such a resolute mind, he would go hold on to the principle of nonviolence. And, this ancient thought of the world is one family was always ringing in my mind. So as a child, I used to say to my friends, I have family all over the world, and I want
As a young child?
I was just 8, 9-year-old.
Okay.
But then my friends would come and ask my mother, and she would just scold me, why do you tell lies?
Imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that was almost like a compulsion in me. I had to say that, I know somewhere in my subconscious mind that's what was coming out.
That's beautiful. So you once said that, as preparing for this interview, I was looking at some of your past comments, and you once said, ask me the questions that Google can't answer. And so I Googled, how can I be happy? And Google gave me 6 answers. Practice gratitude, engage in regular exercise, prioritize sleep, practice mindfulness, cultivate relationships, and set reasonable goals. So how would you answer it if Google said that?
De-stress yourself. Stress is the main cause of unhappiness. You can't say, I'm happy and I'm so stressed. They can't coexist, you see? And if you're not stressed, nothing can make you unhappy.
So this is the notion of inner peace.
Absolutely.
Being the sort of the key to happiness.
Yeah. Like beauty is an inner experience. Joy is an experience from inside. It's a state of your mind. Same is happiness. And inside, if you're all muddled up and so stressed up and we're angry, agitated, or anxiety and uncertainty in the mind, happiness, though it is our true nature, we will not be able to experience it.
So this morning we announced, or Gallup announced, that Finland and a few of the other Nordic countries, Iceland, had been named the happiest countries in the world. You travel all around the world. Does the data sync up with your experience? Do you surprised that the Scandinavian countries keep on winning?
As far as Scandinavian countries, yes, my experience is, yes, they are happier because they have very little thing to worry about themselves. They worry about the whole world. They worry about the environment. They worry about the other nations in the world. That's something I can vouch for.
Interesting. And since you also have so much experience working with government leaders and civic leaders, do you think it's possible for individuals, leaders, governments to actually design and build large-scale communities of happy people, or even design and build happy countries?
Yeah, I think that should be one of their agenda. Not just giving shelter and food to people, but see that people are happy. In this happiness index, though I don't agree with India, that's my the India's ranking, because I have traveled length and breadth of India. So it's not bad as it is in the conflict regions of Ukraine or Israel or even Mexico.
Afghanistan is the lowest on the list.
And also Pakistan, for example. So India is doing much better. There is so much more caring, and every home, when people start to de-stress themselves, learn to meditate or share a meal together, it makes a big difference. And you can find this in many poorer countries. Poverty is not actually related to unhappiness, nor happiness related to richness. I've seen this around the world, believe me. I've seen the poorest colonies. There is so much more compassion among people and togetherness. They jump out to help each other. There is more community feeling in the slums than in urban areas. So I would say we must look into these parameters where we see happiness as an inner state rather than just what they are surrounded with. Of course, that counts, but this is one more fact that one must see, the state of mind, how less tense they are, how more confident they are, how zeal and enthusiasm they are bonding themselves with others.
So America dropped to the 24th, I think it's several years of a decline in American happiness. And obviously you see huge spikes in loneliness and other factors. And I think the political environment is more divided in this country than it's been in a very long time. It's sort of the red and the blue states. Can some of your ideas on de-stressing and communication address some of these problems around polarization and division in America? What's your advice to America?
I'm more concerned about the youth of America. There is less and less social interaction. And you see the two extremes among the youth here. Either they are very aggressive. Violence has skyrocketed in many cities, like Chicago, or Los Angeles, and other places. Mindless violence. On the other hand, suicidal tendency and depression has increased. So the only way to get rid of these two extreme behavior, I feel, is to give them the wellness program. Teach them how to handle their emotions. Neither at school nor at home